Hi. Hey, everybody. So I wanted to come on today and talk about kind of what I do in terms of how my weight loss approach is different for years. The diet bandwagon and the keto and then this and then that and all these different things. And ultimately, they all failed. Why? Several different reasons. One, because it wasn't they're never sustainable, right? It's not sustainable. Diets are not sustainable. 80-20 lifestyle. I talk about that and other stuff, so I'm not going to get into that today. I'm going to try to stick to my healing process. So what is the healing process, right? So in my approach, I believe that we need to break down our old habits, our old thoughts about ourselves, all these different things that really play a role in how we handle our stress and what we eat, essentially. Because even if you think about, being super busy and being stressed out, not having enough time to meal prep, and you just run through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, right? All these different things really do play a role in us being able to maintain that healthy eating lifestyle. Okay, so in terms of talking about, let's take for example, my food addiction. In times of really hard stress, really great stress, I was a teacher, and on Fridays, I would go through the Dairy Queen drive-thru. Sometimes it was more than just Friday. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot. But I just remember in particular, every Friday, it was like this reward system. And that dates back to being as a child, right? As a child, it was a reward to, go visit grandma and grandpa and get a Happy Meal. Or, oh, you make good grades, let's go out to dinner, right? It's a reward system. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not blaming anybody who put that on me. But there are reasons why in times of stress, when I made it through the work week that made me so unhappy, my reward to myself, right? My way to deal with that stress was to go through the drive-thru and make myself happy with the food, okay? So things like this, right? This is something that I would need to heal in order to move forward and actually be successful with it being a lifestyle change. Does that make sense? So that is what I work on in the healing phase of my work before we ever approach that 80-20 lifestyle and what that looks like for you, because it looks different for everybody, right? And one of the beauties of having a coach is that there are no cookie cutter meal plans. There's no cookie cutter anything. We really work on what works best for your body and your lifestyle and your tastes and your family's tastes, and all those different things kind of work together. But before we ever even look into that, we are breaking down and healing these old habits, these old thoughts, these old reward systems, these old things, right? And how I do that is working through a series of journaling. And part of my program is a journal that takes you all the way through all of these different parts of healing, as well as there's some guided meditations, a part of that program as well. And I like to use certain oils in my own life for doing this work for myself, and I also am really excited to share it with you guys, and I like to share it with my clients as well. All right, so there's a couple of different things that I use for like I said, the step one, the first process would be the journaling and the meditation, the really bringing of awareness, right? Once we get to that awareness, we need to let it release. That's the whole point of journaling, making it aware, right? Once we're aware, we can sit with it and not judge it and work on releasing it. Lemongrass. Lemongrass is a really great energetic oil for negative energy, for cleansing negative energy in the environment. So if you are a shop owner and you have lots of people coming through and you want to kind of think about that, lemongrass, as well as being at home. You know, you can change the mood in a second with essential oils, right? If you use them, you already know that. My second favorite is, well, I use these together. I'm sorry, I'll say that together. They are used together. It's like my little recipe here. Lemongrass, Petitgrain. Petitgrain is an ancestral oil, right? So it brings its emotional counterpoints are dealing with generational trauma, and it helps us to heal that. I don't know a lot about the techniques. I don't know a lot about how and why. I just know it works. It's not the greatest smell, and that is why I tried peace. I added peace to this little duo once and just fell in love with it. It works really well and it smells really, really good. So peace comes from the doTERRA emotional aromatherapy line. It's one of my favorites. Lavender, ylang ylang, frankincense, clary sage, marjoram, laburnum, and spearmint. So these are, it's a powerhouse trio here for being able to sit with your feelings and not hold judgment, be aware of them, and heal them, right? Which is amazing. Amazing, right? We all know this, that our essential oils have the power to really work with our emotions and energetically in our body, and that is the whole point to them in this healing work. So I have this little book, right? If you don't have it, you want to get it. It's a great resource to have, and it is, we all know about like the physical healing properties of essential oils, but then this deals specifically with the emotional, right? If we breathe it in through the limbic, it's going to affect that part of our body, right? So, for example, we've got Petitgrain goes from inherited limitations, dishonoring, and unhealthy traditions to chain breaking, pioneering, and healthy family connections. This is one that I love. I don't love the smell, but I love what I know it's doing for me. Sometimes I'll pair that one with tea tree and lemongrass for a roll on, so it stays with me all the time. I'm looking for, okay. So lemongrass will take you from despairing, hoarding, lethargic to clarity, simplicity, and cleansing. And then the peace, I had mentioned marjoram, isolated, fear of rejection, cold and distrustful, to connected, warm, and loving. Lavender is blocked communication, hiding, constricted, to expressive, open, and calm. Frankincense, darkness, deceived, spiritually disconnected, and abandoned, to wisdom, discerning, and spiritually connected. Those are just a few. I don't have to read them all. I think you kind of get the idea. Vetiver. Did I say that vetiver was in this one? It is, yes. Vetiver is also in peace, which is one of my favorites. Vetiver takes us from scattered, ungrounded, and avoiding to centered, grounded, and present. Okay, so that is why this little recipe trio that I use here is really good for that healing work. So I hope that you'll try that. And what happens after that healing work, after you have become more aware of these things, and as we are releasing them, right, we're creating that space, we need to reaffirm, we need to reframe those habits and those beliefs and those thought processes. And so the way that we do that is we take the old belief, take the old habit, make it new. Affirm it with something whole, with something that serves you. And when we do that, when we do that repeatedly, it becomes habitual. And that is when that belief and that habit process begins to stick, right? It begins to stick and it stays for life, which is what we want. That's the whole point of that complete healing process. For that process, I love to use wild orange and spearmint. Spearmint is really good for clear thinking and confidence. So this is a really good one. It's also helpful with negative thoughts. Clear thinking, confidence, healthy thoughts. And wild orange is the oil of abundance, and it just makes me feel really supported, but abundant, playful, sense of humor. So these two oils I like to use to ground those new affirmations, those new ideas into our body, into our life. So I hope that this helped you. I hope that you got some ideas from it, and I would love to know if you did. So be sure to let me know in the comments. If you want any other ideas on how to do this healing work, then just message me. I am happy to share. And yeah, have a great Monday.